taped on that left wrist just to make sure for the next several weeks that he doesn't injure it anymore. But something to look out for is Will Myers back in the lineup today. Family here to watch him too, Dick.
All right, Chris, thank you. And Myers will be leading off in the lineup for Bud Black today against Julio Teheran, the 24-year-old from Colombia. Here is the total lineup with Myers kicking it off in the top spot. Will Venable hits second. Matt Kemp in right field returns to the lineup. He sat out as a starter last night. And Yonder Alonso again in the cleanup position. Derek Norris back from a day off. Corey Spangenberg hits sixth. Will Middlebrooks seventh. Alexi Amarista and then Andrew Kastner. As you can see, there is no Justin Upton in the lineup today. And time for our Saquon Pick the Stick. You fans know all about it. You tweet out hashtag I'm with and the last name of the broadcaster you think has the best pick today. And if you're right, you win a free foursome of golf at the Saquon Golf Resort. Here are the picks. Norris for me. Venable Mark Grant selection. Mike Pomerantz Alonso. Sweeney takes Kemp. And Budden with Myers. And good luck to you. Tee him up. Tee it high, let it fly.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully the Padres can let it fly today off of Julio Teheran. Hey, the skipper's going sans jacket and no sleeves on this warm summer day.
Temperature over 80. Hopefully the showers will stay away, but there is a forecast of more. Hopefully it'll wait till much later. 79 degrees at game time. Umpires have come on the field. Let's introduce them while we have a chance. Jordan Baker will be calling the balls and strikes with Paul Emmel, Jerry Meals, and Andy Fletcher on the bases. So a slight delay here at the start as timing off a bit because of the rain. It was a 12:10 scheduled start, and they're trying to throw first pitch here at about 1 o'clock Atlanta time. Gives us a chance also to remind you Padres come home tonight, open a 3-game series tomorrow night with the Dodgers. Despaigne and Kershaw will be matched up on Friday night. On Saturday night it'll be Kennedy and Greinke, and on Sunday afternoon Shields will go for win number 8 against Mike Bolsinger. Well, Tuesday night this play at the plate with Andrelton Simmons hitting Derek Norris, the catcher. The Padres took offense, thought he went out of the way, and so a little payback last night. Tyson Ross getting Simmons, and then starting pitcher Williams Perez plunked Justin Upton, and Upton gave that look as if to say, hey, enough's enough, brother. Be careful.
So if you're keeping score, it's still 2-1 Braves. I mean, if you're keeping score. Dirty slide by Simmons, duly noted. Tyson Ross sent the message, okay, and then Upton gets hit. I got 2-1. Yeah. Stay tuned. ... Yeah,
you don't.
I'm not insinuating anything.
No, but your abacus is right. It's 2-1 in favor of the Braves. But sometimes the memories are long in this game, and Braves are going to come out to Petco in August, and some of these things are not forgotten. Andrew Kastner coming in, working up a lather. He needs a victory. He's 2-8 on the year. It's his 13th start. Maybe 13 will be a lucky number for him. Needs to cut out the home run ball. 11 he's given up this year, but his counterpart Teheran is throwing 13 home run pitches, and here he is.
He's got good numbers at home. He's got the breaking ball, fastball, curveball, changeup. He can get erratic at times. I think a big key for the Padres this afternoon is to get Teheran into the stretch. His ERA, when he's got a couple of base runners on, is way above 13.
He's pitched well at home, as you can see, 3-0 and a 2.53 ERA, and overall 25 home starts, 12-5. Against the Padres, 3 decisions. The Padres have beaten him twice in those 3 games.
Well, they've got stats on everything. When Teheran's got runners at first and second, it's an ERA above 13. When he's got runners at first and third, it's an ERA above 14. So you split the difference. Hey, get multiple base runners on and take your chances against the right-hander.
Now here's the delay. Teheran just now coming in from the bullpen and entering the dugout of the Braves. So we'll take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Okay, game 4 of the series. Go home with a win and a good road trip at 4-3. Will, get on for Will. And if you take a look at the lineup, Will Myers leading off, Will Venable batting second. Hopefully Will Myers can come around to score. because Will Venable is putting the ball in play, possibly an extra base hit.
And then keep going because Will Middlebrooks then will have a chance.
Towards the bottom of the order. Nice job, Professor. He's batting 7th this evening. And, of course, Andrew Cashner. Hopefully he has a nice outing. Cash, go for the split, the win, go deep in the game. The bullpen's kind of used up a little bit, so hopefully he can walk away with a win this afternoon.
There's never any criticism of a team coming home from a road trip with a winning record, and the Padres have that chance to make it 4-3 after taking 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati and try to split this 4-game series. And looking ahead, I know many of you already have your tickets. We're going to have some big crowds over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and still some good seats for Sunday, Military Day. Here's the lineup. If you want to go see the Cy Young Award winner, Clayton Kershaw, tomorrow night's your time. Odrisamer Despaigne gets the call for the Padres. Saturday, a 7:10 start, 6:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Zach Greinke, some feel he's even tougher than Kershaw. He's 5-1, and he's got the ERA to support that. He'll draw Ian Kennedy. Kennedy trying to pick up his 4th win of the year. And then Sunday afternoon, Mike Bolsinger. He pitched a great game against the Padres up at Dodger Stadium earlier, and he's 4-1 against James Shields. He'll try to pick up that 8th win as the Atlanta Braves take the field.
I was going to say, what time is this 1 o'clock start supposed to start? Let's go. Shake yourself, Bravos.
In a minute or so. Teran, he's only 24, lanky 6'2", 200, a live arm. And here's the support behind him defensively in the outfield. Kelly Johnson, who's just returned from the injured list, 3 hits last night. Maben in center. Markakis, who has 385 consecutive errorless games. He's approaching the major league record. He's only some 7 games away. In the infield, Uribe and Simmons on the left side. Peterson, the ex-Padre, at second. Freeman at first. And young Christian Bethencourt will handle the offerings of Teran today.
And here's the scouting report for Julio Teran, brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Inconsistent season for the right-hander. 15 runs, 19 hits, 4 home runs allowed the last 3 starts. And to even look at the bigger picture, this year, Dick, he's thrown 68 in the 3rd inning. He's allowed 99 base runners. That's a lot of working out of the stretch. Hopefully that continues this afternoon.
And again, he's given up a club high 13 home runs. Well, as we mentioned much earlier before the rain delay, at the completion of this game, the Padres will be at the 100 mark. 100 games remaining in the season. So it's moving along, progressing rapidly, and the Padres trying to stay in touch with the Dodgers, who begin today 5.5 games in front of the Padres. Dodgers are idle. Giants do play. They're in New York to conclude their series at night against the Mets. They're 1 game back of L.A. Will Myers itching to get in that batter's box against Teran. As he returns, he's missed 28 games with that wrist injury. At El Paso, went 5 for 15, hit a home run, stole a couple of bases. 291, that's the batting average, and the base traffic, the home runs scored. The Padres have missed him at the top of the lineup. Let's see if he can spark a win today. Sun almost on cue. Breaks through the cloud cover. Bright sunshine. And we are set to go in Georgia. First pitch of the game is a fastball strike at 91. Try to give him the wills or willies today with Myers, Venable, and Middlebrooks. 0-2. 74 degrees, but it's going to warm up into the 80s now that the sun has broken through. One and two. 3 straight fastballs from Teran. Got him on a breaking ball. The 1 away.
Be interesting to see what type of fastball Tehran throws today. He throws a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. Sometimes tries to get a little bit too cute with the 2-seamer, but that's the slider down and away, expanding the zone with 2 strikes.
He said he wants to go more to the 4-seamer. He gets more velocity on it. Able to get Myers on the slider. Here's Will Venable. He's had a good road trip, raising his average up to 265. Had a home run the other night. Lined out twice last night, went 0 for 4, but hit 2 balls, screaming line drives, but right to Atlanta outfielders. 1-1. Matt Kemp on deck. Ground ball to the right side. Chase Peterson, a convenient hop. 2 away.
4-seam fastballs from Tehran. Looks like he's being aggressive, going right after these Padre hitters early.
Matt Kemp did not play last night. Had a day off, and sometimes that can do miracles for a player, just not to have to go through the pressures of playing. It's a relentless season. That's why Justin Upton is given this day off, although of course available for a pinch hitting role later. Breaking ball on the inside corner. Kemp homered in Cincinnati and just missed one here in Atlanta to deep right field earlier in the series. It's been his toughest ballpark in which to collect hits in his career. Cincinnati was his best, so he has the best and the worst on this road trip. He went around, says first base umpire Emmel.
Well, the high fastball up and in by design. That's exactly where Bethancourt was set up. So the high target. That's kind of like a half swing, half get out of the way.
Yeah, it is, but Emmel saw it as a swing. Oh, then he hits him.
Oh, he's ticked.
Hits him on an 0-2 pitch.
Oh, now we got some action going on.
Yeah, it's been fiery here, and somebody takes down Kemp. Here come the bullpen. And this all goes back to that slide that you saw. Andrelton Simmons into Derek Norris went out of his way to hit the Padre catcher. And the rules are protecting the runner, but the rules are also there to protect the catcher. Nothing called against Simmons. So it's been brooding.
Well, there's no doubt there's going to be warnings issued, but I've got a feeling that
well, there's a case where the Padres are going to be shorthanded again. They're going to warn both, and so the Padres can't retaliate. So now your count will be 3-1. It is now.
Well, Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, has Matt Kemp. Oh, it looks like Matt's feet kind of slipped out from underneath him there, but still just trying to keep him out. Matt tried to do the old end around to try to get into the scrum again.
And Baker may have done the Padres a favor there by keeping Kemp away from something serious.
Yeah.
And avoid if punches were thrown and Kemp might have been loading up one, then it could have been much more than the typical baseball fight of push and shove. One of the things that I noticed and I really liked, you know, the first player out of the dugout was Justin Upton. He was there in a split second to support Kemp.
Hey, intended or not, it just doesn't look good with the way things have been going. And yesterday, Justin Upton getting hit. We talked about that.
So with 2 outs here in the first, Kemp aboard, hit by a pitch. Yonder Alonso, the Padres' top hitter, at 350. Ball 1. Teheran has hit now 5 batters so far this year, more than any Brave.
Okay, now you start thinking, how do you handle this? Because I'm sure warnings were issued.
There wasn't the dramatic warning where they point to both dugouts and both managers, so I think it's still fair game.
So now
there goes the runner. He can steal without a throw. There is a throw anyway, but Kemp stole that one on Teheran. He was on his way long before Teheran delivered to the plate. So Kemp trying to punish the Braves and Teheran by moving into scoring position. That's the best way to hurt Atlanta. Beat them on the scoreboard today. 3-0 to Alonso. He's been swinging 3-0. Takes this one, ball 4. 4-pitch walk. So Teheran perhaps unnerved by the incident. Can't throw a strike to Alonso. Here's Derek Norris.
Well, this is one of the points I was making earlier. Multiple base runners, and Teheran has got a high ERA over 13. In the times that he's had runners at first and second.
Norris sat out the game as a starter. Did come in as a pinch hitter last night.
You know what stinks about this whole thing is because when Andrew Cashner goes out there now, let's say he wants to pitch inside, one gets away from him and it hits a guy, he's going to get run. And so that takes away the whole inside part of the play for Andrew Cashner. And it's not fair.
Here's the play again at home plate.
Yeah.
Norris is giving him a lane to slide. He doesn't take the lane. He goes right at Norris. And that could have been a knee hitting Norris in the hip.
He should have been thrown out of the. First of all, called out, thrown out of the game. Dirty slide.
1-0 to Norris. And after 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone, a strike thrown by Teheran.
It's part of the effectiveness for any pitcher, especially Andrew Cashner. You know, he'll pitch inside at times. So we'll have to see what happens.
Kemp at second. Alonso at first. And a foul back. Into the general manager's suite to our right. Norris sitting on 36 runs batted in, just 2 less than Justin Upton for the club lead. Two and 2. th pitch of this first inning from Teheran coming up.
Hopefully the 21st is a gapper. Cameron Maben playing over on the first base side of second base and center field. Big gap in left center.
Another foul. Teheran has put together a couple of 14-win seasons for the Braves. He was 14-8 2 years ago, 14-13 last year, with a much better ERA last year, 14-13. And he's just 24. All 4 starters in the series the Padres have seen are 24 or younger. They're building a young staff. High fly ball sliced to right, headed for the crowd, and will land 5-6 rows back. And the battle between Norris and Teheran continues at 2-2. Well, the Padres return home to open the series tomorrow night against the Dodgers. The Braves leave town, head to the Big Apple for a weekend series against the Mets. High fly ball, foul territory, and out of play. Oh, you got something there, just a little out in front.
Yep.
Norris 6 home runs, including a grand slam this year. Line drive, base headed to right center field. A dying liner that'll get Kemp home, and Alonso over to third, and the Padres score 1-0. So the hit batsman does become a Padre run. A dying liner that he didn't get all of, but able to plunk it into right field.
Breaking ball stayed back just enough to make contact. That's a hang with him.
So with 2 outs, the hit batsman the walk. Norris's RBI single, his 37th, and here's Spangenberg, who has really been as hot as the weather here in Atlanta. Raised his average to 257. Last 8 games hitting 423. 2 doubles and a single last night. And he bunts foul. Yonder Alonso takes a long look at Glenn Hoffman, the coach at third, as if to say, whoa, did I miss something there? Was that a safety squeeze? Because that caught Alonso off guard. Strike 2.
We talked about Spangenberg in our pregame show and talking about breaking balls in, pulling it down the right field line, fastballs the other way. He's done a great job of having plate coverage, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Now with 2 strikes, let's see if Teheran goes to that breaking ball down and in.
Alonso at third. Norris leads from first. And a ball off Teheran, and it caroms perfectly to Freeman for the out. Boy, that's the kind of tough luck the Padres have had in this series. That ball could have gone anywhere. Instead, it goes right to the first baseman, almost as good as a throw. But the Padres do settle through the skirmish with a run after Kemp was hit by a pitch. Andrew Kastner. He can't put that plug fully into the electrical socket because there has been official warning on both sides. Here's the lineup for Atlanta, brought to you by Hyundai. Peterson and Maben, two familiar names at the top of the order. Freeman, Markakis, Uribe, Johnson, Simmons, Bethancourt, and the pitcher Teheran. Jace Peterson, 5 for 13 in the series, hitting a respectable 270. 94 on that fastball.
And for Andrew Kastner on the hill today for his 13th start, the scouting report: execute the fastball location and slider for quality strikes. You might see a much improved slider this afternoon out of the hand of Andrew Kastner.
He falls behind 3-1.
That's a good two-seam fastball with run on it, upper 90s.
Full count with Cameron Maben on deck, and then Freddie Freeman in the Braves' first inning. The Padres have scored first. They've done well when on the board first, 20-7 on the season.
Well, nothing but heaters this at bat to lead off the game for Jace Peterson versus Andrew Kastner.
Before Kastner threw his first pitch, plate umpire Jordan Baker went out and conversed with him, undoubtedly telling him, hey, now both sides have been warned. I wonder if that gives the hitters
a little bit more
advantage.
comfortable at bat, wouldn't you think?
Ground ball chopped to third. Middlebrooks a long throw, just in time. Very close play. The check of the Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Venable Myers back in the lineup in center. Kemp and right. And Marista and Spangenberg, the double play combination. They turned 3 double plays last night. Middlebrooks and Alonso, corners of the infield. Norris behind the plate for Kastner. Cameron Maben. This is the Cameron Maben that the Padres signed to a long-term contract. Hitting over 300, 303. Ball 1. 5 for 13 in the series. A couple of RBIs. 28 runs batted in on the year.
Just good two-seam fastball inside. Nice movement at 96, trying to work both sides of the plate to Cameron Maben. Fastball.
And he fell behind Peterson 3-1. Finally got him to bounce out. Now 3-0 to Maben. Since May 1st, Maben hitting .344 with 23 runs batted in. 4-pitch walk. Braves have their first base runner, and here's Freddie Freeman. Andrew Kastner is called for Rosenbach. Todd Hutchison, the head trainer, accommodates some humidity, and I'm sure both pitchers will work up a heavy perspiration today.
Yeah, no problem getting hot, no problem staying loose today. Might be a 3 or 4 t-shirt day for these pitchers. In between innings, changing the jersey or changing the t-shirt underneath.
Freeman, a .298 hitter. Leads the team in home runs, RBIs, doubles, runs scored, and strikeouts. 59 times he's punched out. Both teams start today 1 game under 500. The Padres 30-31. The Braves are 29-30. Braves are only 2 games out of first, however. 2 games back of Washington in the NL East. That's 6 straight balls thrown now by Cashner.
Sometimes Freddie Freeman will get in the pull mode. Everything he wants to pull, even 2-seamers away. Looks like what Andrew Cashner is trying to do here. You get him in that mode, 2-seamer away, it'd be a perfect opportunity for a ground ball to the right side.
Foul tip into the glove of Norris.
97 for Andrew on that last pitch. Keeping it down nicely this at bat.
Maben has 10 stolen bases. He leads Atlanta. Maben is everything the Padres hoped he would be. Unfortunately, in 4 years in San Diego, it didn't materialize. Left field and hit pretty well. Back goes Venable, can't get it. Off the wall. Maben running all the way is rounded third, and he will score. It's tied at 1. Double Freeman. Throughout the series, balls hit to left field, even by left-handed batters, have really carried. And Freeman able to knock that one over Venable's head.
Well, as I mentioned, when Freddie Freeman is in pull mode, he has a tendency to roll over ground balls. Well, this is when Freddie Freeman is swinging the bat extremely well, taking that pitch the other way. Maben held up just a little bit, rounding second base. You never know what type of catch Will Venable might make out there. He scores easily to tie it up.
Nick Markakis has had a big series, 6 for 11, and a couple of walks. So he's been on base 8 times in 3 games.
Boy,
actually 9. He was safe on an error as well.
If Will would have made a miraculous catch on that, Cameron Maben would have had to retouch second base and go all the way back to first. He was already past second base when he stopped and started up again.
Markakis, the ex-Oriole, 3 hits. Last night he's had 4 games with 3 hits or more this year. Boy, Venable's way over toward the line in left field. He's playing Markakis like a right-handed pull hitter. So the Braves answer quickly and have tied it here in the bottom of the first. And again, Cashner having trouble throwing strikes. 3-1 to Markakis. He's fallen behind every hitter, including the walk to Maben that has now become a run.
Remember those 2 hits that Markakis down there in between Will Middlebrooks in the bag? That's exactly where he hit those last couple hits last night.
They're giving him that corner again. 3-1. He leads the Braves with a .308 batting average. Some barking coming from that Atlanta dugout, and Jordan Baker has said that's enough. Yeah, the high-low pitch are the ones that the guys in the dugout, they can see if that's in the strike zone. Over the plate, no, but they thought that was high. Freddie Gonzalez, I don't know if he's the one chirping, but there's the skipper.
Hey, Honda, Fox tracks. Ha! Pitch number 5. Strike.
Slaps that foul, and it's 3-2. These are just mirror hits. Look at these 2 hits. Both of them in the same avenue between the bag and third base, and the third baseman. Look at that. Same stroke, same result. And Middlebrooks playing off the line here. And he walked him. So a couple of walks. Cashner having trouble throwing strikes here in the first inning. So 2 on for Juan Uribe, and Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, going to make a visit.
Well, one thing's for sure, I think the majority of the pitches when Andrew is missing, he's missing down. Heavy workload with 22 pitches, chance to give him a breather as well.
Cashner actually has had better success on the road than at home. At Petco, he's 0-5 this year. He's won 2 and lost 3 on the road. Big trouble for Cashner. He's pitched well enough, but has had very little run support. The last 9 starts, the Padres have scored only 11 runs for. Hard to win. They gave him one here in the first inning, but that's already been taken back, and we're at 1-1.
Oh, good double play candidate right here for Juan Uribe. Get him to hit something on the ground. He's got no speed at all.
He's 8 for 20 against Cashner. There's a strike.
Like a backup slider on the inside part of the plate. Good luck trying to hit that.
Fly ball, shallow center. Myers gets his first chance on return. No advance by the runners. 2 away. Let's check our National University standings. In the National League East, Washington and New York Mets in a dogfight. They've been trading the top spot. Nationals have it by a half game. Atlanta, despite a losing record, only 2 out of first place. Miami 7.5 back, and the Phillies 17 games under 500. Rest 10 games off the lead.
And of course, everybody before the season started thought that Washington was just going to run away with that division. Staying tuned to that one. Kelly
Johnson back from the injured list last night with a roar. 3 hits and 4 at bats. Change up for a strike. Ground ball to Cashner. He got that one. Made sure it didn't go through into center field. And the inning comes to an end. Each team scores a run on a single hit. It's tied at 1. Bring up the lower third. Middlebrooks and Marista and the pitcher Cashner in the second. And we welcome to our booth Michael Milken. And there's a big Father's Day affair that Mr. Milken has founded the Prostate Cancer Foundation. And Major League Baseball, they've collaborated on a home run challenge to give money toward research for prostate cancer. And it all ties in with Father's Day a week from Sunday.
It does, Mr. Enberg. I think you have been admitted to more Hall of Fames than anyone in the history of the world. Well, so as we travel around with a lot of Hall of Famers, but it's just an honor to be with you and Mark here today.
Well, thank you.
And I couldn't be happier to be in the ballpark. We started this program 20 years ago to keep Dad in the game. and come out with your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your brother, and remind them to get tested for prostate cancer.
And reading some of the information, Mike, that there are 6 new approved drugs in the past 4 years for prostate cancer, and also detection as well, I trust.
Well, early detection and 6 new drugs. A man has a 99% probability of living at least 5 years now. The death rate has dropped by more than 50% since we started this program 20 years ago. Major League Baseball, Fox, Atlanta Braves have played a big part in it with the awareness.
Well, you know well, 22 years ago, you heard the bad news and you were able to fight and win.
That is true. And, you know, a lot of this research has gone on right in the San Diego area. I'm not sure all the viewers know that more biotech firms are in San Diego than any other one city in America today. And it's really fueled the growth of the San Diego area.
One out, Middlebrook strikes out. Here's Amarista. So how do the fans get involved in the Home Run Challenge?
They can go to pcf.org and learn all about the Home Run Challenge. And today is a bonus game. But every ball game in the major leagues from June 15th to June 21st.
That'll be out of play.
And you can play by just going and pledging money. As you know, there's a few less home runs in the major leagues today than there used to be.
Right.
Though that year 2000, they were hitting 2.5 a game. We're down closer to 1.5 a game today.
So is that first year the most that they've made the money on the Home Run Challenge?
No, we've been gunning people to bid more and pledge more. And the exciting thing is all the money that comes from the San Diego area, not only will we put back into institutions in San Diego, but we will match it. So every dollar anyone gives us, we think this year with 100 and some odd games, we'll end up with maybe 180 home runs. So if you pledge $10, it'd be $1,800, and then we'll match that, and it'll be reinvested right in the San Diego area.
Another strikeout for Tehran, 2 away. And just as for the breast cancer support group, they wear the pink. It's the light blue for the fathers and Father's Day.
That is correct. And, you know, one of the messages we want to really deliver today is that 1 in 2 men will get cancer, but your chances of living a normal life and not cutting your life short exist. It's better than it's ever been in history. And today there's more than 15 million Americans living normal lives that had cancer. When we started this 20 years ago, someone tells you you have cancer, you know, people start wondering, are you going to survive, not survive? That really is not an issue today. And there's so many new treatments, the advent of immunology and precision medicine now, where we can energize your immune system. Quite possibly in the next decade will substantially reduce traditional treatments such as radiation, surgery, chemotherapy. And when we think about what has been done, we've raised $45 million from home runs. At the Prostate Cancer Foundation, we've turned that into more than $650 million. And it's made quite a difference.
So there's the story. You men, there's a good chance that all of us, if we live long enough, might have the news that prostate cancer, but the treatment is better, the detection is better, and that is really the good news. And it doesn't happen unless we do added research.
And what age and how often should
you know? They used to say 50 unless you had a family history or an African American. Today, I'd say 40. And you can just go to pcf.org and find out a lot about it. And I want to thank both of you.
All right. Thank you, Mike Milton. Keep up the good work. All right. Congratulations. Striking out the side was Tehran. We go to the bottom of the second.
Second, Will Myers playing in center field today, but you will still see him at first place. He played 2 games there during his rehab stint in El Paso. Bud Black said it's just going to be a day-to-day thing, see how the lineup shakes out, because guys are going to need days off. They'll have to see who's going to match up against the pitchers. He did have one interesting side note, though. You may see Yonder Alonso playing at third sometimes. He's been taking some ground balls there. He's familiar with the position, Dick. He played it in college. So we'll see how things shake out with a plethora of outfielders now for the Padres. It's a good thing, though.
It is indeed, and it's good that we have so many athletes that can play more than one position. Well, we saw Myers at first base. I really liked the way he handled himself. It looked as if he'd been playing there all his life. Good footwork, good hands. Kastner goes to work. Bottom third of the order. Simmons drives one high in the air. Myers checking the high sky on this Thursday afternoon. One away. That'll bring out Christian Bethencourt. Bethencourt hitting only 196, the backup catcher, the young receiver for the Braves. Just had a few at-bats, 92 to be exact. And 18 hits, 1 home run. Strike one. So identical innings in a way. Each pitcher put 2 men on. So 1 hit equals 1 run. RBI single Norris, RBI double for Freddie Freeman. There's a good breaking ball.
Nice slider, nice tight, good depth. Even though that pitch caught a lot of the plate, it was the break and the depth of that pitch for the swing and miss.
And then a line drive, softly hit, but into center field. Much like the hit Norris driving in the run. So second hit for the Atlanta Braves brings up pitcher Julio Teheran.
Well, sometimes you make a good pitch and it's down and away. Definitely a ball if taken, and off the end of the bat. Fall in for a base hit.
Teheran 2 for 20. Has a couple of RBIs. A lot of grass out there, as Tony Gwynn used to say. Oh, look at all those hits. Teheran leads the Braves in most sacrifice hits, 5, so he's up there. Something that he's quite accomplished. Trying to move that runner over to second and give Peterson, top of the order, a chance. Almost got him in the knuckles.
Looked like a two-seamer up a little bit in the zone. Tough to get that bat on top of that pitch, especially with movement.
Oh, swings away. They get one there, back to first, not in time. And Teheran safe on the fielder's choice, and Padres don't mind that. They would have liked the double play, but to put the pitcher on a hot day, make him stand out there for a while, not the worst thing that could happen. A reminder that today's game is presented in HD by Sony 4K. Peterson grounded a couple of hops to Middlebrooks the first time. He loops that one behind third, and that's going to fall for a hit. My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Another spooner. Just a little soft single to left. That's what was happening last night. The Padres were hitting line drive after line drive for outs, and the Braves 14 singles of varying varieties. Not many hit hard. So Peterson moves the pitcher Teheran to second base, and here's Cameron Maybin. He walked and scored in the first. during his 7-game hitting streak, batting .500, 16 for 32. There's just no question, looking at his swing, it's nothing like what we saw with Maben the last couple of years where he struggled. 2 on, 2 out. He bows to the breaking ball. Strike 2. Same pitch.
Yeah, shaving down some calluses. A little device, got a little razor blade in it, and just raised enough to where you build up calluses from swinging the bat. Shave it down so they don't split on you or crack.
A ball, 2 strikes. Hasn't thrown him a fastball yet. Two on, 2 out. There's the fastball inside. 98. Oof.
Free and easy gas from Andrew Cashner. See if he breaks out the changeup today at all. We've seen some sliders. Andrew's got a very good changeup.
Ground ball toward the hole. Throw to third base, and the force is made there. Good play, Amarista. Momentum carrying him toward third. Teran not a fast runner. The out ends there. Well, they were saying it like they meant it. Unfortunately, no punches thrown.
I'm just glad there wasn't a Milton Bradley situation happening right there with Matt Kemp slipping right there. Milton Bradley was getting held back by Bud Black. Boy, it must have been 5-6 years ago. And Milton Bradley ended up blowing out his knee. But Matt clearly slipped right there. And Jordan Baker was just trying to put himself in between Matt Kemp and the scrum.
Remember, it did rain for an hour, and that's why the delay in the game. So there's moisture on the turf. Will Myers hits for the second time. Struck out swinging the first time. Teran has 4 strikeouts already. Little change on the coaching lines today for the Padres. Swing and a miss. Jose Valentin has left the club to be for his daughter's graduation. Dave Roberts takes over at first. Of course, Roberts was the first base coach for a couple of seasons before taking over as the bench coach with Buddy Black. He knows the drill.
And I'm sure Glenn Hoffman will slide right next to the skipper Bud Black, being a manager himself with the Dodgers and being bench coach, helping Buddy on that Padres bench.
1-2.
See Mark Kotze at the top step, always with pen in hand, lineup in hand, maybe taking notes, watching, having a keen eye on his hitters.
Up the middle and glove by Peterson. The throw in time. Good play by Freeman. He scooped up the low throw. Now, Jace Peterson ranging far to his right to deny Will Myers.
Well, I really thought Will was going to beat this one out, but Jace Peterson, look at the throw and look at the scoop. Hey, credit Freeman with a nice scoop.
Got it up in the heel of the mitt, but able to squeeze it for the out. Will Venable grounded to second, his first time. Matt Kemp would be next.
Oh my.
Off speed.
Wow. Off the plate as well. Not only off speed, but off the plate. Pitch number 2.
Goodness, that's a peach tree strike, huh?
Yeah.
Pulled to first baseman Freeman. Easy jog to first for the out. 2 away.
Okay, when I'm commissioner.
Uh-oh.
Electronic strike zone. And I asked some Padre hitters in the clubhouse, would you be in favor of an electronic strike zone? Yes. Because there's no argument. If they could put a man on the moon, they can make an electronic strike zone that is accurate every single time. And the Fox tracks we have is very accurate.
Well, then the next step is you just put 9 robots out there, and then they get to play.
The home plate umpire would have a green light, red light in his mask, instantaneously popping up, whether strike or ball, and he would be there for the plays at home plate.
Well, yeah, you'd still need him there for that.
Right.
I'm going to wait before I vote for your commissionership.
Hey, in fact, Dick, it brings up a good point, because you being in the tennis world for all those years, how did you feel about the electronic on a serve or something like that?
There's a soft fly ball to left, and that's going to drop in front of left fielder Kelly Johnson. Another. Boy, the singles are soft today, but Kemp is aboard with a 2-out bloop. And here's Yonder Alonso.
Let's see what it is. Is it a breaky ball? It's a breaky ball, and Matt goes down and gets it off the end of the bat. Hey, he finds a hole. Good for Matt Kemp.
No, I think the electronic line calling has been outstanding. It's been a great addition to the game of tennis, because the players were usually wrong when they argued. And I think probably if you did have electronic balls and strikes, players would find out they're usually wrong too.
Stay tuned. We got a game break coming up. Seattle, Cleveland, the M's and the Tribe. Going to fill you in on what's happening there. From the state of Ohio, northern Ohio, northeast Ohio, Cavland.
That's the other day game here in the Eastern time zone. Kemp stole second, his first time aboard. Alonso walked in the first inning before the single by Norris scored the run.
Well, it seems like today Tehran has been more aggressive with the four-seam fastball. Earlier starts trying to be a little cutesy, a little bit too fine with the two-seamer, getting knocked around a little bit.
Boy, that plate is wide. 1-2.
Buried that one perfectly on the inside corner.
After hitting the outside corner with a previous pitch. Actually, the previous pitch was outside, but that was pretty good. That should have been strike 3.
Well, the strike zone the last couple of days have been like that swinging tire at the carnival where you're trying to throw the football and win the Cupid now. It's been all over the place.
It's strike 3. Alonso caught looking. Boy, that was a wild combination of calls by Baker. The balls were strikes, the strikes were balls. I guess it all evens out. All right, wish you were here. We'll send a postcard. But we'll be back there before we could mail it on. That's right. Here we go. Third inning. And a line drive foul as Freddie Freeman starts it for the Braves. Then Markakis and Uribe. 1-1 tie. Shift is on. And he hits into the shift. 3-1 on the putout. Freeman doubled in. The Braves run. Doubled over left fielder Venables. Venables played all three positions. He started in center, right, and left field in this series. How about our Ram Trucks tools of the trade today?
Well, Professor, this is geared towards your heart. It's the double play and the Padres' 3 double plays, which they turned last night. Okay, it all starts with the pitcher hitting his spots. And also a big part of the defense on this trip was Will Middlebrooks at third base. So not only the double play, but also Will Middlebrooks at third base picking up his pitchers.
Yeah, good recovery.
Nicely done by the third baseman Will Middlebrooks and the infielders turning those double plays yesterday.
Yeah, well done by the announcer. Adjusting. Yeah. Markakis walked the first time. He walks a lot. 31 times this year. His on base percentage nearly 400, the best of any of the Atlanta Braves. Two and one. Last 9 games, hitting .389, on base .450, slugging .528. No home runs for him. Here we are 2.5 months into the season. Pops it up. First baseman Alonso comes in, calls off Kastner. The pitcher had designs on trying to do it himself, and Alonso said, get out of there.
Well, the double play. Last night, 3 of them. The acrobatic move, the nice pick by Alonso. The slider hit on the ground. Tyson Ross. Hey, the little ninja getting up and turning it. Another slider down. And this one more conventional. 5, 4, 3. Tyson Ross loves it. and so does the professor.
I love the double play. I love the ballet around second base. There's the real
a little nutcracker going on
form.
out there.
Yeah, jumping, leaping, good footwork.
Swan Lake.
Yeah, evading the runner. Yeah, it's Bereznikov stuff. Swing and a miss. Uribe, he flied to center his first time. 2 outs, bases empty here in the Atlanta third inning. It's a 1-1 tie.
Some people may call that Bolshoi, but I think it's great.
It's very good. That's it deep, but hooking foul. And what? Did Venable get there in time? That's out of our view. No, didn't quite come up with. Yeah, he did get it. Comes out of the shadows. The angle out there is away from our sight line, and Venable, a great play. He ran a long way to make that sliding catch in foul territory. Nice going, Venable. All right, a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Braves. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. By Petco, what we feed them matters. By your San Diego Lexus dealer. And by Kaiser Permanente. Drive. Summer-like afternoon here in Atlanta, Georgia. Temperature now up in the 80s. A 1-1 tie as we move to the fourth inning. Derek Norris, Corey Spangenberg, Will Middlebrooks to hit for the Padres. Norris knocked in the Padre run with a looping single to right center his first time. Padres 1 run on 2 hits. The Braves 1 run, 3 hits. Center field, Maben retreats a few steps. 1 away. Don't forget the 115th U.S. Open Championship, one of the 4 majors in golf, will be right here on Fox starting June 18th. Look at the course up in the Great Northwest.
Looks like it needs some fertilizer.
It's like
it's a links course, looks like.
Yeah,
huh?
It does. Some interesting challenges there.
Looks like my lower 40 out in Alpine.
Lower 40?
Yeah.
Corey Spangenberg drilled one back through the middle, hit to Round, and it carried him right to Freeman for an out. Chasers low and inside, 0-2.
That's that sweeping breaking ball to the back foot of the left-handed hitter for Tehran.
Time for our T-Mobile Game Changer. Featuring Corey Spangenberg. Last 8 games batting at a .423 pace, slugging .615.
A nice series here in Atlanta. 6 for 12 going into this game.
Unlucky not to have a hit the first time up today. Another out as Spangenberg denied by Peterson. Getting in tough luck today.
Yeah, nothing you can do there, Corey. Up the box the first time, hits Tehran, and then goes to Freddie Freeman. And this time, Jace Peterson has shown his range to his right twice today. Once on a grounder. It's easier of the two plays for Jace going to his right.
So Middlebrooks struck out the first time. You see plate umpire Baker when he stands before the pitch. If you think he's a big man, he is. He's probably the biggest of the umpires. He's 6'7" and 240. Middlebrooks high in the air to right center. Maben with a beat on it. A 1-2-3 inning for Tehran. And at the middle of the 4th inning, it's still tied at 1 in Atlanta.
That made the drive from North Carolina to see their son play, back from injury, back in center field. Pam and Eric Myers, thank you guys so much for joining me. Mom, I got to ask you, Mom wants to see their son injured. What's it like seeing him back and healthy finally?
It's wonderful seeing him back. I mean, it's all he's ever wanted to do, and to see him back on the field, it's just, a dream come true for him.
Dad, I read that growing up that Will kind of said that you were a big push for him, that you didn't sit around and tell him how great he was, that you really pushed him. How did you approach trying to get him to the place that he is now as a ball player?
I just pushed him. He could have 4 at-bats and go 3 for 4, and I'd be kind of concerned about the one that he didn't get a hit on. But yet I would still, encourage him and tell him he did a good job on the 3 that he did. But I would focus on the one mainly that he didn't.
Certainly got him to a great place now, and I think one of the things that we love about Will is this youthfulness that he has, Who does he get it from? Who does he get the energy from? Mom, dad, brothers?
I really don't know. Will is just Will, and I think they broke the mold on that issue there.
It's certainly been a joy to be around. We thank you guys so much, and enjoy the time that you get to see him today. Dick, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tris, and thanks to the Myers from Thomasville, North Carolina, the furniture capital in the Tar Heel State. Oh, Will is just Will. That says it all.
They've done a fine job of raising their son. He's a pleasure to be around.
Simmons fouls it away. Kelly Johnson led off this inning, grounding to Alonso unassisted. Cashner gave up the run in the first inning, a walk to Maben, and RBI double Freeman over Venable's head in left field. Couple of scratch singles in the second, but nothing since. Surprisingly, no strikeouts yet for Cashner. He's walked a couple. Ground ball to short. Amarista across to Alonso, 2 away. And time for our Cholula flamethrower.
Well, on this hot day in Atlanta, Andrew Cashner on the mound, 98 on the fastball. That's some kind of hot. Hot sauce. That's 98 with movement. That's
when you get breathless, you mean?
Oh, man.
Takes your breath away. Huh?
Yeah. Off the end of the bat, great pitch there. It sounded like he broke Simmons' bat on that little slider.
And another ground ball to Amarista off the bat of Bethancourt, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Cashner. He's done that back-to-back innings. 1-1 tie on to the 5th. By Geico, Game 6, 1998, NLCS, Turner Field. Sterling Hitchcock seals the deal for the Padres. The left-hander strikes out 8 in 5 innings. Shutout pitching. He would eventually win the National League Championship Series MVP, and the Padres would head to the World Series to face the New York Yankees.
Boy, he had it working that NLCS. He had the location of the fastball, the breaking ball, but also the split finger fastball. Sterling Hitchcock from the left side. He was really tying those hitters up in knots.
Top of the 5th inning of this 1-1 tie. Alexi Amarista will kick it off. Cashner and Myers to follow. Amarista struck out as Tehran struck out the side in the second. Middlebrooks, Amarista, and Cashner. out of play. Some interesting tidbits as they summarize the whole draft process for the Padres. The Padres drafting from 17 different states. Most productive was California with 9. Canada, Puerto Rico, and 17 different states. They selected kids. Foul back. 23 pitchers. 18 right-handed, 5 left-handed, 4 catchers, 6 infielders, and 6 outfielders in the draft.
Pretty good rounded, huh?
And they had a late draft from San Diego State.
Nice.
Ty France, third baseman. France was selected in the 34th round. Now, if he makes it to the big leagues, he'll be able to say I was the 1017th player picked, and I still made it. Hey, he had great credentials. He led the Aztecs in conference play. He hit 381. Fly ball to center. Maben comes in and makes the grab. One away. And time now for our Fan Diego fan of the game.
Oh, sporting the giveaway fedoras earlier in the year and wearing the New Jersey and the throwback. It's a great fedora hat day here in Atlanta. And a little ice cream to go along the way. Was that a lemonade? One of those lemon slushies?
Frozen lemonade. Yeah, they packed with all their Padre gear. Huh? Cashner tries to bunt his way on. He struck out the first time. Three of the last 4 putouts made by Maben in center field. Yeah, he always could go and get the ball. No question about that ability. Late swing.
Sound like Andrew may have broken that shillelagh.
He's going to go back to the lumberyard.
Pick out a good one, Cash.
Get a base hit here. He's got 3 this year.
I want to see him go yard.
That's a pretty good lottery that what pitcher for the Padres will hit a home run this year.
Who you betting on if you put some money down?
In batting practice, Tyson Ross hits him as far as any, but I think that James Shields might be the man.
Yeah, I think it'd be a close race between this gentleman here, Andrew Cashner, and James Shields. I'm right there with you.
So 2-2 to Cashner. 1 out here in the 5th. Base is empty. Padres scored their run in the first inning. And down he goes on a slider. Half dozen strikeouts now for Tehran.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Did you get up early and cast your 35 votes for the All-Star game?
Believe it. All Padres.
You didn't do it back to back like 35 yesterday and again 35 today, did you? I mean, that wouldn't be right.
No, I play by the rules.
Okay. Will Myers has struck out. Good play made by second baseman Peterson behind the bag at second to get him last time.
Did you do your part today, Professor?
I'm going 35 days, 1 vote a day.
Okay.
Myers fly ball to right, giving ground, but there is Markakis, and the Padres go in order again. Halfway mark in this one, 4.5 in the books. For our Harrah's game summary, first inning, Matt Kemp hit by Julio Teheran. Skirmish breaks out. Plate umpire Jordan Baker wrestled down Kemp, and then Derek Norris blooped a single over second baseman Peterson's head, and Kemp came around to score. That's the punishment in return. But in the bottom of the first, a line double by Freeman over the left fielder Venable's head to tie it at 1-1 as Maben scored from first. Maben had walked. We enter the bottom of the fifth inning. Cashner's retired the last 7 in a row. And working on the pitcher, Teheran. 1-1. High chopper over the third baseman's head. Amarista with a terrific play. Short hop, backhand, and throws out Teheran. That saved a base hit.
This is not an easy play, especially on the backhand and that more than in between hop. My goodness.
That was do or die, and
yes.
Do he did. 1 out. Jace Peterson single, looped one down the left field line and grounded to third. So both times he's hit the ball opposite field. 3 straight assists, 3 straight batters. Amarista is taken care of.
There's that first pitch changeup. Nice changeup out of the hand. Take a look at the last 9 games for Jace Peterson, hitting .333. What an on base percentage, about 40%.
Well, the 2 players acquired by the Braves in the offseason deals, James Shields and not James Shields, Justin Upton and Craig Kimbrell, netting them the 2 hitters that lead off for Atlanta. And Peterson and Maben have done a terrific job. Two and one. Three and one. And a full count.
Boy, it's such a free and easy motion. When Andrew's about 93, 95, free and easy with motion, good location, a little bit of movement to go along with it.
Got a call from Baker. So the count 3-2. Ball 4. Walked 2 men in the first inning, did Cashner. This is his third. And with 1 out, brings up Maben. Walked and scored in the first. He would have had a hit his time up in the second inning. There were runners at first and second. Under normal conditions, it would have been tough to throw him out. The ball was hit deep into the hole, but Amarista able to get to it and get the force at third. Here's another ground ball to Amarista. 1 there, back to first base. A double play. 6-4-3 and a good turn there at second by Spangenberg. So the Padres had 3 last night, and they still are in form today.
on balance, has given us maybe the best at-bats, through every game. From at-bat to at-bat, the most consistent at-bats as far as approach, plan, and results. So he's doing his job. He's doing his part for sure.
Talking about first baseman Yonder Alonso, Bud Black, and indeed Alonso leading the team and hitting with a .350 average. He'll hit third here in the top of the 6th inning after Venable and Kemp.
So it's all about setting the table right here. 2, 3, 4. Third time around against Tehran.
Cashner without a strikeout, getting the job done. A lot of ground balls. Tehran. Venable takes a slow curveball, strike one. He's grounded to second, grounded to first. Venable. Inside. The 2 Padre hits. The RBI looping single by Derek Norris in the first, and Matt Kemp hit a soft single to left center field. So nothing hard against Tehran.
The one pitch of the at-bat there, that number 3 pitch, right down the middle.
Big hit for the Braves. First inning double by Freeman, knocked in their run. And he gets him. That's number 7. 8 in a row now retired by Tehran. Matt Kemp hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored in the first, and looped a single to left field the last time.
Changeup out of the hand of Tehran. He missed. That's the beauty of the changeup. You don't have to throw it in the exact spot. If you stay on top of that pitch, you can miss down, you can miss in. It's the speed of the ball, a little bit of sink to it as well, that helped Tehran on that last pitch.
Foul tip. 93 on the Tehran fastball. And he's in front of another hitter, 0-2. It all started here. With Kemp being hit high and inside, that's what made him angry. Not just that he was hit, but that ball was almost to his head. Jordan Baker, the plate umpire, we told you how big he is. He's a football tackle size at 6'7", 240. He took down Kemp, kept him out of further trouble, and no punches were thrown. I think Kemp was ready to fire, though. Good thing that he was taken out of the skirmish.
Well, it looks like he's got the sweeping slider coming right here.
2-2. Again, Justin Upton, given the day off as a starter, he is available on the bench. Kemp got his day last night. Didn't play at all.
Here comes a changeup.
3-2. So since the first inning, when Tehran hit Kemp and walked Alonso, he's mowed him down. No walks. Lots of strikeouts.
Try to locate a fastball here. 3-2. Away. Well, ever since he hit Matt Kemp, as Yonder Alonso waits on deck, pretty much everything's been down towards the middle and away from Tehran. The one pitch this at bat was up over the heart of the plate, up and out of the zone, well out of the zone. Fastball away.
High fly ball, right field, going back Markakis to the warning path and makes the catch. Two away, 9 straight retired by Tehran. And here's Alonso. He walked and he took a 3rd strike. Ears must have been burning after that high praise from manager Black. Ground ball to first. Routine. 3-1. And 10 straight have been retired by Tehran. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Still tied at 1 aside. Baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino, only 25 miles from Petco Park. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Double Jack today, only at Jack in the Box. It's still morning back in America's finest city as we approach the 12 o'clock hour in the west and close to 3 here in Atlanta. Andrew Kashner will face Freeman, Markakis, and Uribe in the heart of the order for the Atlanta Braves. Tied at 1 here, bottom of the 6th. And Freeman hits one high, right field, hooking, and foul. And plenty of distance.
Strike one. Andrew Kashner's really pitching well this afternoon. Let's take a look at the pitch count. He threw 26 pitches in that first inning, heavy workload. That was the 69th pitch of the afternoon. So the other innings in between, roughly around 10 or 11 pitches per inning.
15, 10, 7, and 10.
Yeah. So he's working the ground ball, staying out of the heart of the plate. Hey, the strikeouts are okay. But throwing fewer pitches to hitters is fine as well.
He's had that ground ball to shortstop really working for him of late. Five assists for Amarista at shortstop. Two and one. Middlebrooks shifting over closer to second than third base. Spangenberg in the outfield. Hits it to left field again, and that's hit pretty well. Ball carries, back goes Venable, leaps, and it's gone. Home run. Isn't that something? They have the shift on because he's a dead pull hitter. What does Freeman do? He doubles to left and homers to left. And the Braves take a 2-1 lead.
Well, the first pitch he pulls foul, and the 2-1 pitch here, well, he hits the ball high, and Will Venable trying to time it, and just out of his reach. How close was it?
There's just a little pathway of about 3 feet between the wall and the start of the stands, and he deposits it there for the home run. The ball carrying very well to left throughout this whole 4-game series. And as you check the flag, not much of a breeze, but it is pointing toward left. So the Braves lead for the first time 2-1. Freeman's 11th home run tops for the Braves. Two and one. Three and one. And another walk. Markakis, his second time he's walked. And a reminder, our closed captioning is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Fourth walk from Cashner. And Uribe steps up.
There's that first pitch slider to Uribe, who loves to swing the bat. You could roll it up there. He's going to hack at it, hoping to roll something over to the left side. Infield. Playing a double play depth, but kind of towards second base a little bit more is Alexi Amarista.
Oh, he slowed that down. Maybe they'll get two. Back to first base. Yes, a double play. 1, 4, 6, 3. The second double play of the game for the Padres. Cashner deflected it. Glove toss by Spangenberg. Amarista does the rest.
Beautifully executed. A lot of moving parts right there. And the takeout of Alexi Amarista. Boy, the leg's coming up a little high. Watch the slide of Markakis as he comes in, and the feet are a little high on that one.
That's why that shortstop and second baseman have to learn to throw while leaping in the air, because you don't want to be pinned with that leg against the ground or the bag, and that was close.
Andrew Cashner, like a defender in front of a goal, deflecting that puck, enabling the Padres to turn that double play.
Kelly Johnson has grounded up 0 for 2 both occasions. A ball and a strike to Johnson. Another on the corner. 96 with the fastball. A swing and a miss, and there's his first strikeout, but the inning led off by the home run. Freddie Freeman to left field, number 11, break the tie. It's the Braves 2 and the Padres 1.
will play here at Turner Field all the way through next season. Then they'll move out to Cobb County and SunTrust Stadium. But the big question is now, what are they going to do with Turner Field? The city is still trying to determine that right now, and they're looking at different proposals. One of the biggest things that concerns them is they want to keep the community of Summerhill that surrounds this area involved. One of the proposals has actually been from Georgia State University. They would like to use it for athletic purposes, but will still be a while until the lease ends for the Braves. Can they decide what they're going to do with this area, Dick?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting prospect, isn't it? The site of the 1996 Olympic Games, the main stadium. There's a lot of history here. And hopefully it will come to good community use. 2-1. Padres trail. Derek Norris leads off the 7th. Padres, suddenly the bats have become quiet in Georgia in the last 18 innings. Only 7 hits. Norris has one of the 2 hits today. Soft single, right center field, that knocked in the run the first inning. Foul tip.
Well, Tehran, he's got the sweeping big breaking ball work, but also with that fastball, he throws a little bit across his body with a low 3/4 arm angle. I think that would be tough as a right-handed hitter to square that up at times when he's on his game. And it goes from the third base side of that rubber.
Outside, 3-1. Nothing wrong with a leadoff walk. That usually bodes well for the offense. Spanchenberg to follow, then Middlebrooks here in the 7th. And there is the leadoff walk. The first walk given up by Tehran since the first inning.
Hey, tomorrow, Team USA continues their quest for a third World Cup title as they battle Sweden at 4 p.m. Pacific on your local Fox affiliate. You catch the whole tournament streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Yeah, there's a little intrigue beyond the game itself, because the coach of the Swedish side was the coach of the United States team the last time they won the world title, and she's been saying some rather unflattering things about the U.S. players.
So Alex Morgan taking on Inga from Sweden.
Spanchenberg hits it high in the air. Easy play out there from Markakis. One away. Spanchenberg had hit the ball hard twice and nothing to show for it prior to that fly ball. Middlebrooks has struck out and flied to center.
You know, when you take a look at the way the defense is being played by the Atlanta Braves, especially in the outfield, Maben is playing in the right center field side. That means that Tehran, look where Cameron is. He's over here on that side. So that means a lot of the breaking stuff, it's going to be hard for the hitter to pull it that way. If they could take it that opposite way on the line, maybe split that gap.
Ground ball off the pitcher again, right to the second baseman, to the shortstop. A 1-4-6-3 double play. The Padres pulled that off in the top half of the inning, and the Atlanta Braves answer with the very same combination. Pitcher to second on the carom, to the shortstop, and on to the first baseman, and that's it for the Padres in the 7th. That's twice Tehran has been hit, and both times it works out beautifully for him. Padres baseball, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. And by Petco, what we feed them matters. Last of the 7th inning here in Atlanta. It'll be the bottom of the order. Simmons, Bethancourt, and the pitcher Tehran. 2-1. The Braves lead it. Simmons has flied out and grounded out and takes strike one. And again, the Texas right-hander Andrew Kastner could sue for lack of support. Going into the game, the last 9 starts, only 11 runs scored in his behalf. Off the glove, and that's going to wind up being a hit for Simmons. And thrown away, but no further advance. That ball would have been fielded, I believe, by Amarista, but the instinct of Kastner is to go up and try to get it himself. So infield hit Simmons.
Yeah, for a hard thrower, Andrew Kastner is usually in pretty good position. Nothing you can do there. It's a high chopper. He does his best to glove it. Thank goodness the Padres get a pretty good bounce right there. It comes right back towards the field, enabling Andrelton Simmons to stay at first base.
Again, to underline just how tough it's been for Kastner. Last 9 starts, 11 runs is all that they've been able to give him, and only 1 run today. Christian Bethancourt, a single and a ground out to short. This should be 2. Amarista, oh no play. Instead of using the bare hand, try to go with a glove flip and throw off line, and everyone's safe on the error by Amarista.
And this time Andrew let that one go, which was the right play. Initially it looked like he wanted to go for it, but leaving that ball go, enabling his second baseman or shortstop to get to it, oh, that one hurts. Once again, another good pitch thrown by Andrew Kastner. It's a grounder. Nothing you can do about it after the ball struck.
You want another shocker? Official score called that a hit.
Wow.
Well, home cooking, give the rookie catcher an infield hit. So back-to-back infield hits, Simmons and Bethancourt. Both balls kangarooed over the mound.
Well, Buddy Black out there to have a chat, just making sure everybody is on the same page.
With the pitcher up, Tehran, we've already told you that he leads the team in sacrifice hits with 5.
What type of play they may put on, if they put on the wheel play, if the ball is bunted hard, what they want to do. Bottom line, any situation like this, get an out. When in doubt, get an out. Don't try to make the perfect throw. If you got plenty of time to get that force play at third base, do it. Derek Norris will be out of the crouch on this button, yelling to the pitcher Andrew Kastner, the third baseman, to tell him where to go.
They have the wheel play on. Strike 1. Remember earlier in the game, first pitch he was bunting and fouled it off, and then they let him swing away.
Wheel play. Ball hit right there. Throw to third base to get that lead runner for the force play. With Amarista covering.
He drops down a nice bunt. His 6th sacrifice hit. Moving Simmons and Bethancourt into scoring position.
And that's the ideal situation for the pitcher to bunt it with that play on first and second. Deaden that ball perfectly off the end of the bat, and that's something you can practice.
Alonso back to field the ball to complete the out. 1-3 on the sacrifice. Top of the order, Peterson and Maven then with a chance to add to the 2-1 lead. Infield in. Peterson is grounded out. Soft single down the left field line and walked. First base open. Skip and rope on that first pitch, Peterson. Runners in scoring position. He's delivered. 3:33.
Main objective here, keeping the ball down in the zone. Have him hit the ball, and that's one of those. If he tops it, hits off home plate, you get that high chopper. That's one of those you just got to, tip your cap.
He fouls that off his foot. Meanwhile, the Padre pen is busy with Dale Thayer and Frank Garza starting to throw. Cashner up to 90 throws.
After Peterson, you've got righty Maben, and then double lefties Freeman, Markakis.
So a couple of infield hits and a sacrifice. Second and third for the Braves. 1-1 coming up. He's still got the heat. 98 miles an hour here in the 7th inning.
He's got it working. Now you go for the strikeout. And what's that one pitch that we all know and love from Andrew Cashner? Lefties down and in with that slider. Make him swing right over the top of it for the strikeout.
Ground ball foul.
It looked like it was it.
Long look. Chase Peterson as a third base coach, Bo Porter. But with 2 strikes on him, doesn't figure that he'll lay down a bunt here. That'd be on his own. And doesn't go after the fastball. 99.
It's gone from 93 to 99 on that fastball.
And that's on the 93rd pitch of the game. Smothered off home plate. And safe at first. The third scratch hit of the inning. Goodness. They're killing the worms down there and getting base hits with them.
I wonder if they're saying that ball came up off the plate and it hit Peterson when he was in the box.
Here comes Bud Black out to state his case with Jordan Baker.
See if this ball comes up off the plate and hits Peterson while he's in the box. I think it. Tough to tell right there.
Appealing now to first base umpire Paul Emmel.
Because here's the deal. The way that ball bounced off the plate and then it went directly towards first base, it had to hit something. Now if it hits his bat, that's a live ball.
Yeah. Let's see from this angle. It's hard to tell.
He hit his bat twice.
It off home plate. I mean, this is the inning to end ugly innings. 3 hit balls that are barely struck. You hit the bat again, and so the ball's alive. 3 infield hits. 1 should have been called an error, but nevertheless. And now a run scores. Make it 3-1, and Bud Black not pleased at all with what he's hearing from the umpires. Jerry Meals now, who is the crew chief on the right. And they're going to throw out Black.
Well, first we got to figure out if it definitely hit the bat or if it hit the ball or hit his body.
Bud Black saw something that the umpires did not. And on another little smothered swing, Chase Peterson gets an infield hit RBI. The Braves aren't hitting it hard enough for the Padres to get an out. Simmons scored after he bounced one up the middle. Bethancourt now is over at third base. He hit the ball up the middle. It could have been a double play that they ruled a base hit on. sacrificed Turan, and infield hit Peterson. And now Maben up first and third. Halfway the infield, not all the way up on the grass. Maben has hit into a double play. He goes around, strike one. Tough to digest. No wonder Bud Black upset with the call. Not just that call, but things not well. And now Maben hits one deep to right field, and that ball is caught, but tagging is Bethancourt. He scores, and another scratch single becomes a run. It's 4-1. And Maben again comes through, his 29th RBI. Dave Roberts is the acting manager. He's going to the mound, and with Freeman, a left-handed batter, coming up, it appears that Garces will be beckoned from the bullpen. And look at Castner. He's arguing his case. He didn't want to come out. He's got cause to say, hey, they haven't hit the ball hard on me. Come on. What have I done wrong? And he stomps off. Pitching change here at Turner Field in Atlanta, with the Braves now leading 4-1. Argument is that the ball was hit twice. Watch, here's the initial swing, he smothers it and then hits it again while he's in the batter's box.
Should be a foul ball. That should be a foul ball.
Yeah, so the umpires, none of the umpires saw it.
Yep.
And it comes out a run and maybe more, because two have scored now, as we have our El Cajon forward. Pitching change with Frank Garces coming in. 2 outs. Peterson at first base. And Freeman, who has an RBI double and a home run, has been a hitting star, the batter.
And that's not reviewable. That's not a reviewable play for a challenge. And 4 umpires missed it. I know it happened so quickly, but still.
Boy, this is really, after winning the opening game of this series, the last 3, can anything not go right for Atlanta?
Yeah.
It's all going against the Padres. It's amazing. It's the line drives for outs, the calls, the plays at the plate, the reviews, everything is just floated Atlanta's way.
Now, if a pitcher throws a bouncing breaking ball and a hitter hits it live, that's a live ball.
That's a live ball.
Swinging it, hitting twice in the box, foul ball, and none of the umpires saw it.
So since that play, 2 runs have scored. 1 on the play itself, and then everyone moved up 90, and Maben sacrificed fly. That should have just been a fly out with no runs. So basically the 2 runs of this inning, 3 scratch hits and a missed call by the umpiring crew, leading to 2 runs. 1-2 to Freeman. They got him picked off. The throw to second, and he's out. Although the tag was late by Amarista. And the inning comes to an end. Thank goodness. 4-1 Atlanta. All right, Mike, here we go. 8th inning, 4-1 now. The Padres trail. Amarista starts things against Julio Teheran. Jan Solarte is in the on-deck circle and will hit for Garces. So Garces gets an out with out throwing a pitch. Boy, that was some inning, wasn't it?
Just when you think you've seen it all. Saw Todd Cunningham go in and play left field for the Braves.
So insert him in the 6th spot in the batting order, replacing Kelly Johnson. 2 balls, a strike to Amarista. 3-1. Teheran about to offer his 100th pitch of this warm afternoon. Full count. So Alonso Powell takes over in the first base coaching box. Valentin off to his daughter's graduation. And Dave Roberts replaced him, but Roberts now is running the game as the manager, and a ground ball gets by Peterson, and finally the Padres have a hit, their first since the 3rd inning. Maybe that'll get it started. So Alonso Powell, the assistant hitting coach, is now the first base coach. So the plays ineligible: fair, foul, trap plays, tag up, fly ball, judgment portion, neighborhood play. That's the play at second base. Umpire judgments including interference, obstruction, check swings, balks, and the infield fly rule. I guess that play falls in one of those categories, fair or foul. And a line drive. Solarte off the bench as a pinch hitter. Amarista pulls up at second base, and the Padres, quiet for the last 5 innings, suddenly back-to-back base hits.
Oh, a couple of bloops, trailing by 3, multiple base runners, and top of the order, 4th time around now against Tehran. A little stall going on here with the infielders coming in. Action, double barrel style for the Braves in their bullpen. Nick Massett, Dana Evelyn.
So the tying run comes to the plate for the Padres here in the 8th inning. All the more important, those 2 runs scored in the last of the 7th. Goodness, this could be exciting for San Diego. Will Myers, leadoff hitter, will step in. Enough stalling now, as obviously it's happened so quickly, the back-to-back hits here in the 8th inning, that no one was up in the Atlanta bullpen, and they're trying to hurry those 2 pitchers along.
A lot of breaking balls from Tehran to Myers this afternoon. And there's a first pitch one.
Ball 1. So Amarista and Cashner with singles kick the door open. Or Cashner's pinch hitter, Jan Solarte. Didn't get a chance to complete my book here. 1 ball count. On the edge, 1-1. Venable with a home run in the series, the only Padre home run in the 4-game series, will be next. No batting glove for Will Myers. Even with that wrist injury, he's still gripping it with the bare hands. Two and 1.
Well, the workload for Tehran, 105 pitches. After the first inning, he's done quite well. But this inning here, it just takes 1.
That'll sail foul down the right field line. Amarista single through the hole on the right side, and pinch hitter Solarte a line single over the shortstop Simmons' head to open this 8th inning. First time in the game the Padres have had more than 1 hit in an inning, and the 2 this inning have matched the 2 total in the game coming into the 8th. Inside, 3-2, and this becomes a very interesting pitch. With no one out, a walk loads the bases. Tehran's going to want to throw a strike. Myers ready to pull the trigger. Well, with 5 home runs on the season.
I think this is his last hitter. He's up around 110 pitches, 107 to be exact. Got Will Venable, the lefty on deck. They got their lefty Evelyn heating up, ready to go. And if you've got him up ready to go, why not have him come in to face the lefty?
Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Tying run is on. 3rd walk from Tehran. Amarista over to 3rd. Solarte to 2nd. Myers loads him up. No one out. Padres trying to rally here in the 8th inning. Freddie Gonzalez, the manager, out, and he'll bring Tehran back with him to the dugout. With the score 4-1, a break in the action. Bases loaded. On a couple of singles and a walk with no one out here in the 8th. Tehran, the starting pitcher, is gone after 108 pitches, and Dana Eveland comes in. This is his debut as a Brave. They just picked him up. He went to Gwinnett, the AAA farm club, pitched one game there. Left-hander is up with a big club, trying to support a bullpen that has been a total disaster so far in the year. He was earlier at Pawtucket in the Boston Red Sox organization. They released him. The Braves, eager to get any good arms, especially a left-hander, picked him up. So quickly into the fire.
Yep. So Dave Roberts will counter with Justin Upton. Real Venable spot, lefty versus righty.
Ball 1. The ex-Brave Justin Upton, the Padres' leading producer, home runs and RBIs, and many other offensive categories, with a chance with the bases full. Ball 2. Evelyn, 31 years of age. Actually, it's in a couple of games with the New York Mets this year after release by Boston. Off the head of the bat. 2-1. Big opportunity for the Padres here in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, no one out. They trail by 3. And the action pitch coming up, 2-1 to Justin Upton. Hasn't pinch hit much. He's usually in the game. 4 for 20 lifetime. Gets away. Here comes a runner from third, and he will score. Ball skips into the infield, but no further advance. And the Padres get 1 run in. 4-2 the score on the pass ball. Amarista hitting home plate.
Oh, that looked like a very catchable ball for Bethancourt. Good secondary lead, recognizing daylight. Amarista scores easily.
Now, does that take the bat out of Upton's hands? It's 3-1 now. First base open. So a single could tie it here. Still no one out. Second and third.
Well, he would be the go-ahead run if he gets on first base.
And they walk him. So the bases full of Padres again. And Matt Kemp, the hitter, with Alonso on deck, and here comes Gonzalez out. See whether he's going to go to the pen for the right-hander. Evelyn there to pitch to the lefty, but Padres with their strategy countered with Upton. So a move being made. No one out situation. Go back to Justin Upton, and this is how they work to him.
Well, it was all fastballs. So see what Evelyn trying to do. Trying to peck away Mrs. Big Time with the fastball. Another fastball. Did not get the call. Heavy away. And then, okay, let's try it inside. That maybe looked like a cutter or some type of fastball, but missing Big Time. Not even close. This is the time where the Padres have to make some hay. High ERA for Nick Massett. 8 games with Atlanta, an ERA of 7.04.
Gave up 3 home runs in an appearance against the Dodgers. Former St. Louis Cardinal reliever. Solardi at third. He had singled. Myers and Upton aboard on walks. A run home to make it 4-2 Atlanta. Matt Kemp has walked, or rather hit by a pitch, and scored in the first inning. Singled, and a long out all the way to the warning path and right the last time. On the inside corner.
6 career grand slams for number 27.
Infield back. They're looking for a double play. Concede a run for a chance at 2. That one chopped into the Padre dugout. Padres lead the majors. 4 grand slams. The last hit by Derek Norris, the catcher. He's 2 batters away. Oh, then Alonso, of course, the home run grand slam in Cincinnati. Yeah, he's the last, and he's on deck. Strike 3 call. Big curveball fools Kemp.
Well, righty on righty. Massett, 2-seam fastball inside corner. He gets the call there. He's trying to pound the fastball. Then what? Locks him up with the breaking ball.
Freddie Gonzalez going right to right, left to left. Massett gets his man. Alonso, a left-handed hitter up, a southpaw coming in.
Tony Cingrani on the mound against Yonder Alonso. What a battle it was. You can see Cingrani trying to go up, trying to go away, consistently trying to keep the ball away. This was in the 7th inning. It was quite a battle. Fastballs falling off until he got one up in the zone that he loved. It just got out in time. Cleared the bases for Yonder Alonso.
Into the first row in right center, a grandmaster, and the Padres went on to victory. That tied the game at 7. They got 2 more in the 8th inning. Well, Matt Kemp has struck out, and now Alonso up there with the bases full again. Luis Avalon, he pitched in the first 2 games of the series. There are his numbers. He's been used frequently.
Here's a guy who throws a lot of fastballs up away. He'll throw the changeup, fastball, changeup, curveball, 91-96 for Avalon.
Solarte at third. Myers the tying run at second. Upton the go-ahead score at first. He comes out swinging, Alonso. 94 on the fastball. Again, the infield back. They want a chance for two and will give up a run to take that risk. One and one. Four to the score. The Padres bases loaded, one out here in the eighth. Two and one. That's the man the Padres would like to bring around here in the eighth inning and take the lead. Action pitch, 2-1.
A little late on the fastball after the breaking ball. And just as I mentioned that, I was looking at Cunningham in left field. He was kind of playing on the shallow side. And if Avilan's going to pitch him away, perfect opportunity for Yonder to take him that way and maybe split that gap or down that left field line. So breaking ball, last two pitches, breaking ball, fastball, and Yonder a little late on that last pitch.
Yonder's done a good job throughout his time with the Padres against left-handed pitching. And the count is full. Nervous time here at Turner Field in Atlanta for these Braves fans. Base is loaded and the count is 3-2. Game on the line. 4-2. Atlanta leads. Ground ball foul. Avilan is 25 from Venezuela. In the majors, he has a stunning record, 10-1 coming into this season. And he's 2-1 this year, so as a big league reliever, usually they're around 500. He's 12-2.
That's good timing coming into games close. Your team taking the lead.
3-2 again. Ball four, and it's a 4-3 game as Jan Solarte jogs in. Credit Alonso with his 18th run batted in. Still loaded with one out.
Well, Yonder Alonso, as we mentioned, hitting the grand slam in Cincinnati. A lot of fastballs. This time different against Avilan. Very, very difficult throwing the fastball for a strike when he's trying to hit the corners, but he misses right down the middle, and a good eye on ball four. That's a good at-bat. Hey, the grand slam was a great at-bat. That's a great plate appearance by Yonder Alonso.
Boy, this is the fourth pitcher for four batters used by Gonzalez. He's going to give everyone a chance here, and bullpen has been a major problem for the Braves, the worst in baseball. Averaging earned run average nearly 5 a game. This is David Arzma, another player just picked up this week. The fourth used in the inning. Actually the fifth with Tehran, the pitcher that started the game, and they're the highest bullpen ERAs in the majors this year. We have a chance. I know you're excited at home about the Padres coming home and hosting the beloved quote-unquote Dodgers. Yasiel Puig, Greinke, and Gonzalez and company to be there. And, of course, tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw, the Cy Young star, will be on the hill for Los Angeles. He's 5-3 this year against Adrisamer Despaigne of the Padres. Puig just off the injured list, And in 4 games back, he's hit a home run, and he's 9 for 15. So he hasn't lost anything. We'll see Greinke on Saturday night. He is 5-1 on the year. Mike Bolsinger gets the start on Sunday. Griesemer, who pitches so well at Petco, he'll be on the mound tomorrow night. 7:10 game time. We'll be on the air at Fox Sports San Diego at 6:30.
Well, hopefully he has that off-speed stuff working, and don't underestimate that fastball from Despagne as well. Good two-seamer, hooking horns with Clayton Kershaw.
The Padres here in the 8th inning have 1 run on a pass ball, another on a bases-loaded walk, and all the men aboard now are placed there on walks. Myers now over at third. Upton at second. The go-ahead score, Upton. Alonso at first. Derek Norris, RBI single. He's flied out, and he is walked. Big hole in left center field for Norris. Big hole. Out in front.
I'm sure David Ardsma was in the bullpen watching as Tehran was pitching against Norris. A lot of breaking balls down and away. First pitch breaking ball down and away.
4-3 Atlanta. 1 out. Again, the infield is back. And head on the count is Ardsma, 0-2.
He got away with one there. That was a hanging breaking ball.
The Braves selected Ardsma from their minor league Gwinnett team just 3 days ago. Put him in this tense situation with the bases loaded, 1 out. Now a 1-run game. Struck him out. So Kemp and Norris strike out in the inning. It's up to Spangenberg.
Well, he went soft early 2 times in a row. Breaking ball. There was the mistake there, the high breaking ball. So he's got him soft, hard, up and in for the strikeout.
So Spangenberg hit the ball right on the button the first 2 times for outs. Flied out the last time. Bases loaded in his limited chances, hitting .333. Tying run Myers ready to go from third. Upton from second. Alonso at first. Speed pitch up in his eyes.
Yep. Looks like maybe even a cut fastball.
84 miles an hour. 8th man to bat in the inning. 8th in the 8th. 2 have come home. Padre over every pillow. Strike 2. Now the fastball at 92. So Ardsman's come in. All 5 pitches have been strikes. Struck out Norris on 3, and he's ahead of Spangenberg 0-2. That's got the crowd riled up. He wastes that one outside and high.
Some type of changeup off-speed stuff from Ardsma there at 80.
Late swing foul. Oh, he took that one. Oh, catcher's interference. As Spangenberg swung at that one, catcher Bethencourt hit his bat with his glove, and the Padres tie it. This is a crazy one.
Wow.
How bizarre this game is. And here is Gonzalez.
Thought I heard a double tap there. The field mic right behind home plate picks up a lot of conversation between catcher / umpire. See if you can listen to a double tap.
Can't hear it that, but Spanshenberg right away pointed at the fact that there was catcher's interference. The slow motion here should tell.
Oh, yeah.
So that's ruled an error on the catcher. No official at bat. Spanshenberg takes first base. Base is still loaded, and the Padres have tied it on a pass ball, a bases loaded walk, and catcher's interference. 4-all. And Middlebrooks with the bases loaded, the batter.
See if the glove folds a little bit. Yep. Did you see the glove kind of get flipped towards the right-handed batter's box?
2-0. The Middlebrooks. He struck out, flied out, grounded into a double play.
Watch the glove of Bethancourt reach for the ball. Yep. Rather than letting the ball travel.
Right in the webbing.
Yep.
So 3 runs for the Padres to answer what happened in the last inning for Atlanta. Ooh, swings and misses. 2-1. He got his pitch. So Upton is now 90 feet away from giving the Padres the lead, and 2-1 coming up to Middlebrooks. Foul tip, 2-2. All started with singles, Amarista and Solarte, then walk, another walk with the bases loaded, catcher's interference, and a pass ball thrown in for 3 Padre runs. Foul back.
Hardsman trying to keep that ball away. Boy, if one can slip up in the zone like that last one. And we've seen Will go to right center field at times. As Joaquin Benoit heats up in the San Diego Padre bullpen.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Another foul. The wildness of it all, the pass ball, the bases loaded walk, catcher's interference, and then 2 of the Padres' best hitters strike out in the inning, Kemp and Norris. Another 2-2 pitch coming up from Hardsman. And a ground ball to short. Simmons gets a out at second base, and the inning comes to an end. Padres get 3 to tie it. We go to the bottom of the 8th, even at 4.
POV presented by Saquon Casino is back. This week, the crew goes behind the scenes on draft day with General Manager A.J. Preller. Plus, get to know the newest drafted Padre pitcher, Austin Smith. That's tomorrow after Padres Live right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
So Joaquin Benoit comes in out of the Padre bullpen. Last time Benoit was on the mound, he was greeted rudely on a pinch hit home run by Joey Turdoslavich, and that won the game 6-5 on Tuesday night. Here it is. Turdoslav, that's his first major league home run, and the next day they sent him back to the minor leagues. But he had his moment of glory and a 6-5 win. Freddie Freeman starts the 8th inning. Back even at 4. Both of his hits have been to left field, and the Padres, even though they shift him dramatically, he's got a double to drive in a run and a home run to left field. Upton, as you saw, has taken over in left field for Venable. Shift on. They expect him to pull. It goes the other way, and just over the 380 sign. Out of the reach of Venable. That made it 2-1 at the time. Broke the 1-1 tie in the 6th inning. Benoit falls 3-0 behind.
No, when Freddie Freeman is swinging the bat well, he does take the ball that way to the opposite field.
Dave Roberts, the acting manager. Bud Black was given the heave-ho earlier. Oh, they green light him 3-0, and a high pop up middle of the diamond. The whole infield converges, and Amarista takes charge. Ooh, they green lighted Freeman 3-0, and he just missed it.
Let's see this last pitch from Benoit. Up and a little bit, and Freeman can't believe it.
That was in his wheelhouse. Nick Markakis, only one official at bat. He's walked twice. Popped up the other time. That's a strike. Markakis has been on base seemingly every time at bat. In fact, in the series, he's 6 for 12 plus 4 walks. So he's been on base 10 times in the 4 games of the series. Outside, says Jordan Baker. 2-1.
Well, we know the repertoire of Joaquin Benoit. Fastball mid-90s, 95, 96, good fuzz. His changeup is his best secondary pitch. Mix in a slider every once in a while.
95 fastball strike. Well, you could package up the bottom of the 7th inning for Atlanta and the top of the 8th inning for the Padres. Just tie those up in knots and toss them. Those are 2 of the craziest half innings you'll ever want. Poetic justice. The Padres getting some help, and Markakis goes down swinging after an inning of 3 scratch hits and a controversial call on one of them that led to 2 runs and an ejection of manager Black. And the Padres come back and get 3 on a pass ball, catcher's interference, and a walk with the bases loaded. Two outs to Uribe. The third baseman has flied out twice and grounded into a double play. Bare hand by Benoit. He throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning for the big right-hander. We go to the 9th here in Atlanta. Still tied at 4. plays of the game. That 8th inning, a pass ball scores Amarista to make it 4-2. A ball for the bases loaded, ties it up. Solarte scoring, and then catcher's interference on Spangenberg's foul ball, and that tied the game. Those are the Bill Howe plays of the game.
Oh, you got to love this game of baseball. You come to the ball yard or you're watching on TV, you never know what you're going to get. That's what makes this game so great.
So you just push all of that aside and you go to the 9th inning. You start a new game. It's a brand new ball game in the 9th inning. Padres have 2 right-handers throwing, Brandon Maurer and Craig Kimbrell, depending on what happens here in the top of the 9th. And the pitcher for Atlanta, the 6th player used, Jason Grilli. 5 of them working in the 8th inning, including the starter, Julio Teheran. Grilli was on the mound when the Padres rallied to win in 11 innings the opening game of the series. 5-3, gave up the tying run in the 9th inning, primarily on a wild throw at second base on a pickoff move that set up a sacrifice fly and a tie in the 9th. Amarista started things in the 8th inning with a ground single to right. Solarte on deck. And then the leadoff man, Will Myers. 93 on the fastball. Padres' remaining players, position players, are Melvin Upton Jr., Austin Hedges, the young catcher, and shortstop Clint Barmas. Struck him out. 3 pitches. Solarte jumped off the bench. First pitch he saw from starter Teheran. He singled sharply to left field. Scored one of the 3 runs to tie it in the 8th. Couple of home runs for Solarte, both left-handed. Ball 1. Maurer continues to throw. Fly ball back is short. Now left fielder playing shallow. Cunningham makes the catch for the second out.
We got in on him there a little bit. Tough to get those hands extended against Jason Grilli. Mid-90s fastball. I can see Will Myers lay into one. Mom and Dad are here. Why not?
Struck out. Had a hit taken away. Ground ball up the middle that Peterson made a good play on. Fly to right, and he walked in the 8th inning, scored one of the 3 runs. For keeping score, one of the runs unearned because of the catcher's interference. After missing nearly a full month, Myers back in action. Pretty good pitch, that first one, not called a strike. Fly ball right field into the corner, and Markakis makes the catch in fair territory. So Grilli retires the Padres in order. It's still even at 4. Called from the bullpen. He's been outstanding of late. Pitched in the first 2 games of this series. 3 wins and no losses. An ERA down there at 1.80. Batting average against 163.
Yeah, the hot hand out of that bullpen. They've been throwing the ball extremely well. The splits are just unbelievable. Righties 180, lefties 148. He's working quickly. He's pounding the zone. That breaking ball almost unhittable. That sweeping slider. Nice ERA at 1.8.
Todd Cunningham will be the leadoff hitter. Went in defensively and swings and fouls it away. Switch hitter Cunningham from the left side. He's hitting .263. Right-handed, just 9 at bats, 2 hits. Swung into whisper there.
That's great location at 96.
Well, the Padres won the opening game of the series in extra innings. They'd like to close up shop here and win another in bonus panels. Now we're trying to get them there. 1-2. Cunningham, Simmons, and Bethancourt scheduled for Atlanta. .97 wide. Outside, says Baker. And from 0-2, Cunningham has the count worked to full.
Well, it tells you a lot when a pitcher goes 3-2, fastball count, and Mauer just places that pitch perfectly down and away. Tough pitch for any hitter. And with that said, the outfield playing to go that way. Justin Upton in left field is really shading the line.
Popped up on the infield. Spanchenberg wants it. 1 away. That'll bring up the shortstop Simmons. Had one of those 3 scratch hits in the 2-run 7th inning for Atlanta. Simmons started with a hopper over the mound that became an infield hit. Then Bethancourt hit the very same ball that looked to be a double play ball, but in the feed with his glove, Amarista misfired and everyone was safe. They called that a hit. Another pop up. Alonso over to take a look, but it's back. And then the controversial call, Peterson hitting the ball twice in the batter's box, but not detected by the umpires. That one is an infield hit. 2 runs scored eventually. And had Peterson made out, none would have. Ground ball to short. Amarista blows it. Simmons takes a turn and he's going to put on the brakes as Upton comes in quickly. That's a tough play, do or die, but the way the score is called it, well, he does call it an error. Let's hope the extra out doesn't burn the Padres. Nicole took a high bounce on that hop, didn't he?
Yeah, makeable play, E6.
Didn't even get the glove on it. It went off his forearm. Bethancourt with that infield hit the last time. He's 2 for 3. He had a blue pit back in the 2nd inning. The infield has turned a couple of double plays. They've had 5 in the last 2 games of the series. AJ Pierzynski, the catcher, on deck. Chase is there, 0-2.
Gosh, that is a nasty breaking ball from Mauer.
Saturday, Bethencourt hit his first Major League home run to right field, and it was a walk-off win against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the way to celebrate your first big league home run. Oh, 0-2. Same pitch. He didn't bite this time. 4 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Braves. 4 runs, 4 hits, and 1 miscue for the Padres. Not a bad idea to let Simmons know you're watching him. Just 1 stolen base for Simmons this year.
Everything's down and away. That's where Mauer wants to go after him, right down there.
And nub foul. Well, if you're just coming in from shopping and wondering how in the world is this game still going? Well, we had an hour rain delay. The game was scheduled to start at 12 o'clock Atlanta time, now 4 o'clock. And the game officially began just after 1 o'clock. Popped up. Alonso has room right at the dugout. Makes the catch for the second out. And that'll bring up the pinch hitter Brzezinski. Brzezinski last night went 3 for 4, 3 singles and a fielder's choice. Swing and a miss at the 96. Veteran Brzezinski still a useful player. He's always had a good bat. He and Bethencourt sharing the catching duties. One and 2.
Calls a good game. He can pump up a pitching staff as Kenneth starts to warm up for the Braves. Brandon Kenneth.
He pitched last night. Downstairs, 2-2. Spangenberg out in the outfield grass at second base. That was down, I guess. So a full count. Brzezinski. That'll give the runner at first, Simmons, a head start. Out of play. Him. So an error and a walk, and the Braves have the winning run out there at second base with 2 outs in the 9th inning. 21 pitches for Mauer, and Jace Peterson, the leadoff man, is coming up. He's got a couple of scratch hits and a walk in 4 trips. Braves have done a lot of damage in the 4 games from the first 3 hitters. Peterson, Maben, and Freeman. And you could throw in Markakis too, but their offensive action has come off the top of the order. Those 4 hitters on Monday night had 7 hits. Those 4 had 7 more on Tuesday night. They had 5 last night. And we've got 4 of the 7 hits tonight. There's a strike to Peterson.
Infielder's got to be diving, getting dirty. A ground ball through a hole. With 2 outs, runner's going to be off at the crack of the bat. Winning run on second base.
Simmons with better than average speed. Got him way out in front.
Look at changeup from Mauer.
That's the one you have to worry about. He carries the winning mail. Out of play. He spoiled that one. In the series, Peterson is 7 for 16. Strike 3 called. Peterson caught looking. That'll do it. Breaking ball fools Peterson, and we have extra innings. Tied at 4 at Turner Field in Atlanta. All began in the first inning when Matt Kemp was hit by a pitch. No damage done there. The Padres got a run out of it as Norris looped the single, scoring Kemp to make it 1-0. But Freddie Freeman tied it in the bottom of the first. A double over Venables had made it 1-1. He wasn't through again going opposite field. Freeman hit his 11th home run to break the 1-1 tie, 2-1. And then the scratch hits in the 7th inning. Actually, that was the fly ball that scored one of them, but there were 3 scratch singles, and Maben sacrificed fly. And then the Padres tied it with 3 runs, 1 on a pass ball, another on a bases loaded walk to Alonso. That made it 4-3. And then Frazier yet Spangenberg, catcher's interference on that swing, and that brought in the tying run. New pitcher, another Brandon Kenneth, 26th appearance. Justin Upton, then Kemp and Alonso scheduled here in the 10th inning for the Padres.
Well, all those moves that Freddie Gonzalez made in the 8th inning, that's what's left in the Braves bullpen. Jim Johnson, the right-hander,
who pitched the 9th inning last night. way outside, 2-0. So much maligned bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. Kenneth has an excellent batting average against. Hitters batting only 147, yet his ERA is 4.03. And he's wild there, 3-0. The attendance announced 25,759. A lot of the kids, Little League kids, were here today. So 3 balls, no strikes to Upton. Way outside. Boy, that's almost a pitch run. He didn't come close to throwing a strike. Well, the leadoff man on here in the 10th. See if the Padres can bring Upton around. He's walked the both times he's been at bat. He came off the bench to walk in the 8th inning to load the bases. Kemp hit by a pitch and scored. Singled, a long out to right, and struck out with the bases loaded in the 8th.
Got to show some patience here because Kenneth wasn't even close, those pitches to Upton, especially with the breaking ball. Not even close enough to entice the hitter to swing.
After walking a man on 4 pitches, Upton might even try to steal here. Huh? Way outside. Boy, if the strike zone was in the other batter's box, he'd be throwing nothing but strikes.
Yeah.
He missed way out there.
Really coming across his body a little bit, maybe trying to be too fine and missing big time away.
I need not remind you that Justin Upton leads the team in stolen bases. He has 12. Outside again.
Ball 6.
And all of them outside. Some drastically so. Yonder Alonso is on deck. Ground ball, perfect double play ball. Simmons will go to short, complete at 6-3. Upton ran into Simmons and really took him out of the play, but Simmons hangs in there, complete the double play ball.
Well, after missing walking Upton, good hard slide, good old-fashioned slide into second base by Upton.
So 2 gone. That clears the bases for Yonder Alonso. He's walked twice, struck out, and grounded out. That'll be out of play. Alonso, if he gets it going here, Norris would be next.
Well, we understand that Jim Johnson may be unavailable. He's the only arm left down there. He pitched Monday night an inning. He pitched Tuesday night an inning. And he pitched last night an inning.
So this may be Brandon Cuniff's game to win or lose. Chop to third. Uribe across. And the Padres are going in the 10th. On we go.
Vote for these All-Stars up to 35 times at Padres.com/vote or with the MLB.com @BatAb. So bonus baseball continues here in Atlanta.
Dale Thayer, Padres' 5th pitcher. Cashner started, then Garces, Benoit, Mauer, and Thayer.
Well, it shouldn't take too long for these relievers to get hot. Dale Thayer's 27th game. Pretty good numbers. What you see is pretty much what you get every time with Dale Thayer. 93, breaky ball, mixing in a changeup every once in a while as well.
He pitched in the extra inning win, 11-inning win on Monday night that opened the series. The Padres rallying from 3-1 down with runs in the 8th and 9th and won it in the 11th. He'll face Cameron Maven, Freddie Freeman, and Nick Markakis. Maven has walked, hit a sacrifice fly, grounded out, and grounded into a double play. Takes strike 1 at 91. You like to see that fastball at 93 from Thayer. That's a pretty good read on his stuff. One hopper, 1-1.
Well, Dale's had a day off. He pitched Monday and Tuesday, off last night. A lot of usage out of that bullpen for San Diego.
Ground ball right side. Spangenberg with the fielding play. 1 out. Freeman accounted for the early offense, the first 2 runs of the game for Atlanta, with an RBI double over left fielder Venable. Venable playing left over his head, and then the home run also to left field, his 11th of the season. That made it 2-1 in the 6th inning. He's grounded out and popped up the other 2 times. And he hits that one by Spangenberg. He beats the shift. Kemp's throw not in time. Double for Freeman. So he has a couple of doubles and a home run. And the winning run perched there at second with only 1 out here in the 10th.
Well, some serious top hand on this swing from Freddie Freeman and some serious top spin. And with the way the shift was being played, just one dive, maybe one more step out of the reach of Corey Spangenberg. And once again, Matt Kemp doing the best he can. See Matt Kemp going to his left. He's turning it on. Matt Kemp has got that strong arm, but not in time for that one.
They're going to walk Markakis. Set up the possible double play. And take their chances on Uribe. That's the obvious play.
Yep.
Give yourself a chance for a ground ball double play, and Uribe is a good candidate. Although he's hit the ball in the air today. He's flied to center, fouled to left. And then the last 2 times he did ground into a double play and then a little tapper out in front of the mound.
That was the 7th double play that he grounded into in the 6th inning. And we know Dale Thayer makes a good pitch down and away. He's got good location with that slider. Have him roll one over. That's what he's looking for.
Here's the double play back in the 6th inning. Off the pitcher, and a little nice feed with a glove by Spangenberg, and then Amarista completes it. 1-4-6-3. Slaps that one foul. Done a good job since he came over from the Dodgers, hitting safely in 8 of the last 9 games. There's that 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep.
That's the real barometer. Todd Cunningham is on deck. Up high. Uribe will go up the ladder.
For the first game of the series, they were pounding him in hard a lot. Ian Kennedy did that. James Shields surely did that as well.
Fly ball right field. Kemp right there. Barely had to move. Tagging but not going anywhere is Freeman. So there's 2 outs here in the last of the 10th. And it's up to Todd Cunningham. Entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning and popped up. That rhythmic tomahawk chop could kind of get to you after a while. I'm not sure I could take a whole season of that.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Cunningham with 2 on, 2 out. Winning run out at second base carried by Freddie Freeman. On the inside corner. Well, actually caught all of the plate. And 2 strikes on Cunningham. .67 at bats for Cunningham, and he has only 4 RBIs. 2 strikes. Boy, that's right on the corner, but you could hear Jordan Baker say, no, that's inside.
Yeah, in the strike zone.
See how that impacts this inning and this game. Off the fist, a roller to Spangenberg. He throws him out, and we go to the 11th inning. It was the 11th when the Padres won it on Monday night.
To honor Make-A-Wish San Diego as the community partner of the month, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Make-A-Wish San Diego has given hope, strength, and joy to children with life-threatening medical conditions to enrich the human experience. For more information, visit foxsportssandiego.com.
Yeah, it's a terrific charity, isn't it? Such good work done there. Well, we have a moment this date in history. Hopefully this won't become one that's historical, but in 1990, so 25 years ago on June 11th, Nolan Ryan pitched his 6th no-hitter at age 43.
Wow.
How about that?
That's impressive.
The first to pitch a no-hitter at that age, and the first to throw no-hitters with 3 different teams.
Nice.
Angels, Houston, Texas. I needed to get that note in because in my scorebook I'm running out of room for the relief pitching, and I so long, Nolan. You provided me with some great thrills calling some of those no-run games. And there's nothing better as a broadcaster, and I've tried a lot of sports, but dramatically nothing compares to sinking your teeth into a no-hit, no-run game. All right, Derek Norris getting it going here in the 11th. And we finally, after battling back and forth on the pronunciation of the pitcher's name, we've decided by a vote of 4-3. It's Brandon Caniff.
I like it.
He walked the leadoff man, Upton, in the 10th inning. And he's 3-0 to Derek Norris. After walking Upton, Kemp hit the ball hard, but a room service one hopper to the shortstop that became a double play.
Seemed like the same 3 pitches you threw to Upton that last inning to walk him on 4 straight.
Maybe it's his thing. Outside again. That's an exact copy of the 4-pitch walk to Upton. See if the Padres can take advantage this time. So Caniff favors the Padres with that leadoff walk. Spanchenberg, he was at the plate the last time, fouled one off, but catcher Bethancourt tipped his bat. Catcher's interference, and that's the tying run.
Let's see if he lays one down here.
Good punter. The play is toward first. And the high hopper over the mound, and that's going to be a base hit. Oh my! A bunt kangaroo over the mound, base hit Spanchenberg. Well, he must have been watching the Atlanta 7th inning. So after hitting 2 balls on the nose earlier for outs, he bunts his way on.
Thank goodness for home plate and that trampoline effect. Corey Spanchenberg has great bat control with the bunt. This one goes straight down and over the head of Caniff. And Dave Roberts is going to send up Melvin Upton Jr.
You don't see many bunt base hits that bounce over the pitcher's head, but you have now. So 2 on, no one out. Melvin Upton Jr. not exactly the favorite of Atlanta fans, as you can hear. And the play is to try to get those 2 runners over. He squares and takes high, ball 1. And you got to make Caniff throw you a strike.
Yeah.
He's shown major league flashes of wildness here.
And for runners, make sure you don't get picked from behind. Second base, catcher throwing behind you.
Norris with better than average speed at second. And Spanchenberg top speed. And there's the bunt. And the throw is going to be to third base. They get the force. Upton failing to move the runners up. That erases Norris. Spanchenberg moves to second. The out 2-5. Didn't quite get it far enough away from home plate.
No, and a nice job by Bethancourt. As soon as that ball off with the mask, bare-handing it. Force play. Uribe plays the first baseman on the other side of the diamond.
Amarista, a single in 4 trips.
Well, it's nice. Even though he didn't get the runner over, you got that speed of Spanchenberg on second base.
Ball 1. 95. Caniff got good velocity. So the Padres' fastest feet are out there at second, carrying the go-ahead run. One and one. Jan Solarte batting ninth on deck. Entered the game as a pinch hitter back in the 8th and delivered a key single. Up high. 2-1. Little ninja on Monday night had an RBI double in the 11th inning on the way to that 5-3 win. Fouls this back. Spangenberg at second. Melvin Upton at first. One out.
You know, this Kniff kid, you see all those pitches up in the zone? I guarantee that's not by design. Bethencourt's giving targets down and away, down and in. And talk about being, I don't want to say effectively wild, but as a hitter, man, tough to get on top of those fastballs that are up and away.
Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, on the phone. Another foul. There's an off-speed pitch.
A little breaking ball there.
The word was that Jim Johnson is not available after pitching 3 straight games. But I believe that's who they're calling on just in case. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit, Amarista. Around third comes Spangenberg. Here's the, no, he holds him up, and maybe a good thing he did. Glenn Hoffman saw Maben charge that ball, and it was a good throw coming in. The line drive, and Spangenberg had to hold up to make sure it wasn't caught. And so the bases are loaded with 1 out. Amarista keeps it going.
Absolutely. Amarista doing a good job going right up the box. And you know, Cameron Maben, he was playing on the shallow side as a third base coach. All those things come into consideration. Where he's playing, where the ball is caught, how many hops, what kind of arm does Cameron Maben have? Is he accurate? And you know what? He showed off that accuracy. Stop sign. Look at how shallow Cameron Maben is there, and it's a 1-hop strike.
A visit at the mound. Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, goes out. The 29 pitches thrown by Kniff are his high. 24 was the previous. So the lanky right-hander Jim Johnson, whether by decoy or design to come in, is getting ready.
I want to correct myself. That throw from Maben was on the fly to home plate. A very nice throw.
So Solarte with a chance to get the Padres in the lead here in the 11th. Spangenberg at third, Upton at second, Amarista at first. Entered the game as a pinch hitter, singled over shortstop Simmons' head. And he lines this one into right field. Spangenberg scores. Upton's around third. Here's the throw, cut off, and the Padres get 2. They lead it 6-4. And the Padre fans here at Turner Field are heard as Solarte delivers again, a couple of hits for Jan. And the Padres, as they did Monday night, come up with a 2 spot in the 11th inning.
So Kniff, wild, out of the strike zone high with the fastball. So what does he do? He's wild in the strike zone with a little spinner, a little slider, and Solarte is all over it.
And that bench comes to life, led by James Shields. Yonder Alonso on the play. Amarista motors over to third. Entered to the top of the order, and Will Myers. Ball 1. Myers in his return from the DL has been up 5 times. Last time hit the ball deep into the right field corner for an out. He's walked and scored. Officially 0 for 4. Infield back. And out of play.
Oh, good swing.
So Craig Kimbrell came in to save the game on Monday night. His 200th career save. Getting ready. All-time save leader in Atlanta Braves history. Way out in front of that off-speed breaking ball. 1-2. Justin Upton on deck. Brother Melvin has scored along with Spangenberg for the 6-4 lead. Did he go? No. Pretty close.
Yeah, it was.
Good thing you weren't umpiring at first.
You get that bat going, big strong kid like Will Myers, it's tough to hold that back.
Especially with a bad wrist.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a good sign that he held up then. Maybe that wrist is good to go, right?
First and third, 2-2. Strike three call at the knees. And that's the second out. The Padres can't add on with an out. They'll have to get another base hit, and Justin Upton steps up.
Sweeping breaking ball. If you notice, Caniff has gone more to the breaking ball. Sure, he got burnt on it with Solarte, but he gets Myers looking at that little slider.
So 30 pitches now for Caniff. So he's biting the bullet for the Braves bullpen. Well worn. At the corners, Amarista with Solarte at first. 2 at bats for Upton off the bench. He walked both times, takes a strike. How about that rope by Jan Solarte? I mean, nothing cheap about his 2-run single. That was a clothesline to right field.
Nice level swing that was on the hanging breaking ball. Little spinner from Caniff.
A ball and a strike. Justin Upton. Kimbrel ready in the Padre pen. Looking ahead to the bottom of this 11th inning, it's the bottom 3 of the order or pinch hitters for Freddie Gonzalez, Simmons, Bethancourt, and I believe Brzezinski is still in that 9th spot. No, he isn't. Check. Swing and a miss. Down goes Upton, and that's it as Caniff strikes out both Myers and Upton to get out of the 11th. Not until the Padres on Jan Solarte's line drive single to right. It played at 2. It's 6-4 San Diego. him out. The ball game is over. Craig Kimbrel with his 200th save. That was Monday night, the personal milestone for Craig Kimbrel, the former ace out of the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves, as he delivered the goods for the Padres, his 14th save. As we look at our game summary here, going to the bottom of the 11th inning, Freddie Freeman, 3 hits, a couple of doubles and 2 RBIs. And Solarte off the bench with a pair of singles, one of them a pinch hit, and a couple of RBIs that have given the Padres a 6-4 lead. Here in the bottom of the 11th, Solarte playing at third. Andrelton Simmons takes strike one at 98 miles an hour. Consistently, the first pitch fastball from Kimbrel this year has been at 98.
As Dick mentioned, 200 save the other night here. The fastest pitcher in Major League history to reach the 200 save plateau. It was only appropriate he did it here in Atlanta as a Padre. Oh, pretty good pitch.
99. Or still makes his home here in Atlanta. Rental property in Del Mar while he's with the Padres during this year. Hope he'll be around for a long time. May want to buy that place. That's a strike at 98. 1-2. Simmons 1 for 4 in the game, an infield hit over the mound, and scored a run back in that 7th inning. Wing victory, that pose of Craig Kimbrel as he gets his sign. Breaking ball grounded to short. And Marista straightens and throws high, but down comes Alonso in time. Oh, goodness. He got under that throw, and fortunately, Simmons was still a couple of steps away, and Alonso could go up and pull it down and get back on the bag.
Just working underneath it a little bit, almost like a pitcher working underneath a fastball, up and away. And thank goodness, Yonder Alonso, he's looking over at Alexi. You're killing me.
Yeah, plus, you expose that whole heel area for the runner coming down.
That's true.
Christian Bethancourt, a couple of scratch hits and 4 at bats. Looks at a curveball outside. Clouds off to the left, getting heavier. Let's hope that the rain stays away. The showers forecast through the evening. Consistent. 98, 99. Kimbrel 1-1 now. The count to Bethancourt. Johnny Gomes, the veteran right-handed hitter in the on-deck circle, will pinch hit. Another at 98. Oh, it's hard to get your hands through that fastball in on the corner. 11th inning, Padres with a 2-run lead. And a ball, 2 strikes, the count on the catcher Bethancourt. Hard to be ready for that curveball when he gets it in the strike zone, as you're braced for the fastball.
That's why you'll see a lot of hitters, even if he bounces it around home plate, guys are going to be swinging at that with 2 strikes. It's because it's such a power curveball. It looks like a fastball out of the hand. And he does a fine job of keeping the fastball low.
Fouled back toward us. Kimbrel is just 27. With Atlanta the last 4 years, saves 46, 42, 50, 47. They miss him. Back with the 2-2. Strike 3, and he knew it. At the knees at 98. 2 away.
Frozen with the fastball. He was definitely looking for the breaking ball. Frozen pizza.
Brings up the veteran Gomes. Hitting .208 on the year. As a pinch hitter, though, 4 for 13 with a home run. Gomes has been the good luck charm. Teams get him and they go to the World Series. Hello, 98. Down to the final strike. Strike away from save number 15. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Gomes caught looking. A couple of strikeouts for Kimbrel. The Padres here in Atlanta have won 2 extra inning games, both in the 11th on Monday, and closing out the series on the road trip, a winning road trip for San Diego. A good way to head back to the world's finest city. The final again, San Diego 6, Atlanta 4. Oh my, Mike Pomeranz.